Here's how I turn any reflection into action. I have created myself a Claude project that is to reflect on, let's say, a certain month or a week. When I use that tool, I have a system prompt that kind of prompts me to think about the things that went well and things that went wrong. And for the sake of doing that, let's do it live. It asks me what achievements you're most proud of the past month. Reflect on this week. Let's say we want to just do the week. It's been made for a month, but for this exercise, let's focus on the week. So what am I proud of? So far this week, I have prepared a bunch of tools for a strategy session for 2025. So we're going to set the strategy for this year a bit late, but the partner we have, they're going through an exit and it's been drawing out for a bit. So we have to wait for them in order to make proper decisions in terms of strategy. And that's also all Claude projects. So it's 6 different Claude projects that we will walk through, and a Google Doc that is essentially a context dump, which is connected to all these tools, meaning that over time, as we get a tool result from one, we can paste that into the Google Doc and it will automatically be indexed and picked up by the other Claude projects, which makes it easy to build context over time. And we're going from things like mission and vision to complete strategy for 2025. So collecting context up front and then becoming actionable as well. But let's ignore that. So that's something I've done for our meeting with our new partners that we will build and ship AI products within 2025. And then it asks me a bunch of follow-up questions. Were you able to clearly outline how you approach the AI products development with these new partners? Let's say we haven't, because that's part of the strategy session. So that's part of the strategy session next week, right? All right, and now it asks me what challenges or obstacles. So it keeps me reflecting, and it keeps me, now shifting to what went wrong or what we can improve. Complexity and organizing. So what I've learned, what didn't work so well was essentially it took quite a while to build these tools from shared context. So I had a chat in the LLM that essentially at the end spit out, or in Claude at the end it spit out system prompts for these tools, right? But it didn't spit out like super good system prompts. I had to tweak them a bunch, which I guess is to be expected. But for the sake of this video, right, I was telling you how I turn this into action. And that's what I want to show you now is essentially, I can tell it to show me what we have so far for the reflection session. And it will give me an overview of like what went well, what didn't go so well. And I keep this brief just for the sake of, getting through this in the video. So you don't have to wait forever. And what went wrong, it says the process of creating tools from shared context and developing system prompts was time consuming. So this is what I said, what didn't go so well. And what I can do now is essentially ask it, can you help me fix what went wrong? So now I can brainstorm and get ways to get better at the things that go wrong. And that is the action part, right? So now I can kind of pin down the issue, and I can maybe, for example, create a specific Claude tool with a system prompt that helps me create system prompts or tools, something that's very specific, has all the shared context. For example, that was one of the issues, that I had to collect a lot of context in order to be able to put that context into the tool to then create good system prompts, and then tweaking the prompt and then telling it even like, hey, this is actually about this and that, right? So that's always the issue with tools. You need to give it all the context. And if I was able to collect the context up front and just put it into the Claude project, into the tool, then I only need to make sure that it's kept up to date. But for the sake of showing you, I will just do it now. Can you give me a system prompt for a tool for a Claude project that helps me write system prompts, other tools, and to collect the right context. So one other issue that I had is like, I wasn't exactly sure what context is needed in order to get a great result. And by having, Claude help us create a system prompt for another tool that then in turn helps us to create better prompts for other tools and helps us to define the right context, right? And so essentially what I did was I started with a reflection. I started with something that doesn't work. And the problem is often that people either don't reflect at all, or if they reflect, they just talk about it, but they don't turn it into anything actionable. And this is like a super simple way. If you don't know how to turn anything, any issues that you have into action, or just if you want a brainstorming helper, this is a super simple way to do it. And, fix all your problems one by one, pick them off one by one. And yeah, that's already it. It's just a small, quick win. And I've learned that these LLMs that I've been using, usually Sonnet within Claude, are super good at being, not doing the job for you. I think it ends up being super generic. If you just ask it to, let's say, create a strategy for me, it's going to make some shit up and it's going to be super generic. But if you ask it to be a brainstorming partner, helps you collect all the information. And once you have all the information, you ask it to create the strategy with all the information that we've gathered together. You will get much better results. And yeah, I've been using Claude Projects for this purpose for the last 3-4 months. I'll link some system prompts below in the description that you can use yourself for certain workflows. I've coded that a couple of weeks ago. I'll link up the video as well. And yeah, just have fun, see it more as a crutch and not just as your, solution for everything. I think you'll enjoy using AI much more. That's it for now, and feel free to subscribe if any of this stuff sounds interesting to you, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, cheers.